All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here today with Tracy Felder Conley. No hyphen. And we absolutely love Tracy. We've known her for a number of years now through the adult product, the pleasure product industry.
You used to say the sex industry, and I was like, Amy, people get the wrong idea. They're like, think we're at porn shows all the time and we're fellow porn. And I'm not shaming pornographers or porn stars or any people in that field, but I'd always like, it's not the sex industry. It is related to it, but
I always think of the sex industry as a like umbrella term for all the things, right? Like I do, and so you do too. We do a lot of things in the sex industry as a sex educator, sex and relationship coach. I work for Uberly. We have the podcast. So when I say that, like I work in the sex industry, makes more sense than pleasure products because I don't just work in the pleasure products industry. That's just me. And if they want to think I'm a porn star, good for you. You go ahead. All right. I don't know. I would probably have to be like Amy something and not Amy Baldwin.
But I could think of a lot. Amy Bald Nuts.
Ooh. I know. I think it's even A, like Amy Anal or something.
What was the tree you grew up on? Locust? Amy Locust. Wait, no, what's your middle? And Marie Locust. Isn't it that? Or no, your first dog's name or pet's name? And your magic locust.
Yeah.
That's ding, ding, ding. We got a winner, folks. We got a winner.
What would yours be?
It is, it's a funny one too. Megan Takawana.
I like that.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Megan Takawana sounds really cool. Okay.
Megan Takawana.
Mine is Scrubs Division.
Ooh.
Stop.
That's interesting. That's your porn name?
His name was Scrub Man too. So should I go by Scrub Man?
Scrub Man. Yeah,
Scrub Man.
Yeah.
What is that? People come from near and far to see Scrub Man Division on scene.
That has to be some fun pet stuff that I need to see.
So I'm really into scrub man fetish.
Man.
Anyways, that's not what this episode is about. So this episode is about sex on the road and overseas. And April and I have traveled a lot for the pleasure products industry specifically. And Tracy has too. And I have a feeling Tracy has probably traveled a lot more than both of us.
I don't know. I feel like we might have covered the same maps.
Either you and April would take the cake far over me.
I used to see you everywhere when I would be traveling a lot, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah. We always have fun. You are knowledgeable. You're a sex educator. I mean, we already gave your bio, but I've learned from you, and I learn from you every time we're together as well because we are in the same industry, and it's like totally two different companies, but I love what the LaWand is too, and like what your company has offered and what you've brought to the table with them because you're a genius and you really I feel like you care about people's pleasure, kind of like Amy and I, hopefully not kind of, but like Amy and I do. And you're always really helpful with Legend and trying to help me make him an obedient animal. I'm like, it's never going to work. It's not going to work.
Like, I got this. I can train him. Yeah.
I can do it.
He does listen to her more than he listens to me. She's got like a dominant thing that you're like, shit.
Right. Tracy told me how she teaches, she also teaches Bikram yoga and she showed me how she teaches like, wow, you was kind of scary.
So many people say that and I'm like, I don't see it at all. I think I'm just projecting a lot of tone so you can hear me because sometimes I'm very quiet.
Yeah.
And then people come out and they're like, why were you yelling at me? I'm like, this is everyone.
Yeah.
It's not personal. You were giving a class, like just a one-person class to Amy as an example, the last trade show in LA. And I walked in from a dinner and I heard some military voice. I'm sorry. I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't see because you were in the lobby and it was echoing because it was in the lobby. And I was like, what's going on? I asked the front desk, they're like, oh, there's a serious class going on back there. I look at it, I'm like, it's Tracy and Amy. And you're like, and move. And I was like, Tracy, I listened to you in a second. It was beautifully done though. It was gentle, but with a firm tone.
Yes. I had a couple cocktails too, and so I was wobbling everywhere.
1:30 in the morning, P.S. We got kicked out of the bar area after that.
It wasn't because of the yoga, though.
It was not because of the yoga.
No.
It wasn't because of the yoga.
And if we got in trouble, Tracy would just talk to them in that same way and make them do yoga, so it'd be perfect.
Yeah. It was actually me throwing the ball for Legend that really got everyone kicked out.
Oh, that's right.
You don't love that.
You're welcome, everyone. Sorry.
I blame you. All right, so Tracy, we always start with the same prompt for all of our guests. And so we are very curious if you can tell us a little bit more about how you got into the field of sexuality.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I used to work for a lingerie store. And I really liked working for a lingerie store. It's a small little retailer. We were in Philadelphia. That's where I'm from originally. And I had a connection with a lot of the dancers that came from the gentlemen's clubs. They love lingerie. They love, the outfits. And, sometimes they want just something basic to maybe even walk around in, just, hit the floors with their cash so they don't have to wear their extravagant performative outfits on the floor. So I decided to start getting more into that industry because I was just like, I want to be able to go to these gentlemen's clubs and sell these kinds of products and be like, you don't have to worry about doing this extra travel. I'll be here to sell some products. So I sold some products for them and it went well. The store eventually closed down. And then I was in event production, lighting, staging, and I felt like I was still having a really strong connection between person, networking, talking, and then also just like learning also just more about my sex and my body and like dating and like a whole bunch of things. So I got the opportunity to open up an adult store in Philadelphia. And I was just immediately like, yes, like I am like the black sheep of the family. So she is the most like outgoing, travel friendly, wants to explore and will say yes to something. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. And from there, it was such a wonderful experience because I really opened up my own sexuality. I found my sort of to begin my identity, begin my gender, my own personal gender studies, and really feel like it was so imperative to connect with the community. So I brought in yoga, I brought in other events, and it was doing really well until like it didn't. And when sometimes stores cannot, hold up the bandwidth like they can based off of the economy of the times, we had to close down. Mm-hmm. And I was really bummed because I really did not want to disconnect myself from the sex adult industry. I wanted to still be connected. And I got the opportunity to join this wonderful company, COTR, which has 3 brands, LaWand, B-Vibe, and The Cowgirl, and working under a woman-founded company and a woman operating company. I was like, I'm stepping forward for this. And then to be able to create a voice, create a person of color voice, create a voice where I'm coming in and giving my own spin on sex education, becoming a certified sex educator, also being a certified yoga teacher, bringing those harmonies together. It's just been a very huge launch for me. And it's brought me to meeting beautiful people like y'all and just like, yeah, so that's where I am as of now today. I live in Detroit. And that's where I am now today.
I love that. And I think maybe that's where I first met. I feel like I might have met you when you had that shop. Like, I feel like I remember something when you said that, but maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe we just met in a past life because I always feel so like I always have felt really like a calmness and a familiarity with you, like ever since we first met. And maybe that's just who you are. And also I don't have that with everyone. So I wonder if I had at least popped into your store. We'll talk about that after. And I'm happy to know that you had a retail shop because a lot of folks that are working with manufacturers they've only been in the retail space on the side of selling products or merchandising the products, marketing the products. They haven't spoken to the masses of consumers, the people that are actually shopping and need to know what their bodies, they don't understand their bodies or they want to know like, what should I do? There's so many sex toys too. Yeah. It can be like really hard to navigate. But I want to ask you a question about because your partner and has it changed like from the time that you like your partnership? Because you've been with your partner a long time, right?
No, we've been together for about 3 years. So we're still newlyweds.
Oh, you're still okay, but you're married. That's right. So have you noticed any shifts like from your relationships previous to being in? I always wonder this because I know my answer, but previous to working with sex toys and in the sex toy industry, previous relationships, and it's also kind of obvious because we get older, but to like where you are now in partnership and also becoming a certified sex educator. Because sometimes I run into humps and I'm like, why am I not better at this relationship?
Yeah.
Why am I not? And then other times I'm like, oh man, I'm so good at this like sex thing, but relationship part's hard. So I don't know if you have anything to share because you are an expert and people ask us that all the time, but you're someone new that has also had the experience. So anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, good question. I mean, honestly, it's just like any relationship, communication. Like that's the uphill, downhill, side hill, roller coaster, experience that we need to continue to have in our relationships. And I can say the same thing, like sometimes like my sex is like, all right, it's exploratory, it's explosive. And I'm like, let's go do this. Let's do it now, right now. And then other times I'm just like, I don't even have the bandwidth to think about pleasure because I haven't even given the space for myself to pleasure myself yet. Mm-hmm. So to then, change your perspective on also considering your spouse, your other partner, is something that it takes a challenge, and it just takes honestly communication, and not just communication with like yourself. I mean, of course with yourself, but even more with your partner too. And like just being like, maybe we need to schedule some sex dates. Mm-hmm. We do our Friday nights, we do date night in, like it's just us. We do not go out and hang out with friends. Maybe we knock out a budget. Sometimes when we finish a budget, I'm like, I get turned on. Like,
really? I love numbers. Ooh.
Punching numbers, setting goals. Like, I'm like, a calendar, like, bright. Yes, the calendar with stickers and things to settle, and like seeing my partner's focus on it. I'm like, that is very attractive to me. And that's something new that I had to like figure out on my own. Mm-hmm. And also not just doing again, performative sex, just making sure that sex is really giving you something back, right? Just making sure that there's something for you in this sexual pleasure space, whatever it is. And, continuously talking about it no matter what, Mm-hmm. So I use like an anagram, but like the word but, B-U-T-T, like be thinking about it, be talking about it, be consensual, you understanding what is in your space, what is going on in the space. And then T, like continuously talking about it. And then the last T is thanking, being thankful, thanking yourself, thanking your partner, thanking the space, and just being like grateful and honorful of the whole situation, and just being a little bit more open or expandful in that.
I love that, Tracy. But did you come up with that in the budget meeting with your partner?
Yeah, like, honey, I think while he's like putting up like specific dates, I'm like, you know what? I think we found a new anagram. He's like, pay attention.
Perfect.
Doesn't help with the person with ADHD either, right?
That'd be me.
Yeah,
the mind starts to wander.
I was gonna say, I feel like this would be really good for April. She's like the one that gets turned on by PowerPoints. Yeah.
It's Excel spreadsheets for me. So
Excel.
Excel. Don't even get me started. Whoa. My partner knew how to use Excel. I would be literally, my pants would be down by the time we got to like column D.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Row 3, column
right?
D.
And you just added a simple formula like some. I'm like, you better come get some of this.
Yeah. I put some parentheses and an equal sign on that before.
Ooh. Right?
No, you didn't. Ooh. Did you calculate a percentage? Oh
my God. That is a plug and play right there. Plug it in. I'm a play.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I thought I was like one of those, like, I like logistics, logical, heady people, but you all are showing me a new side. I'm going to bring this to the sex overseas part, because I just kind of going with the way you're talking about the communication. And this episode is not about non-monogamy. Maybe we could talk about that too, but it's not about that. I'm thinking more like sex overseas and staying connected to your partner. But I also want to talk about like being a single person in sex overseas. And so, but so you want to be connected to your partner while you're traveling, or just sex on the road, right? I'm going to be in New York. My partner is in Ohio. And we want to stay, connected, and there's all kinds of products and ways to do that. And we'll probably talk about things that aren't just products. But so what have you learned in your own world, maybe in your personal life, as well as working for COTR? What have you learned from your experiences with sex on the road and overseas?
Yeah. Oh gosh, so many things. First of all, just like being in the mindset of like where you are in this space, like you're flying, you're driving, maybe you're taking a boat. Consider things to consider while traveling in the first place, right? You want to make sure that you stay hydrated. You want to make sure that you bring your necessary travel bag, right? We have our amenities bag that we travel with, but a sex bag I think is very important to definitely have. Mm-hmm. And then also connection and communication also can increase libido or increase arousal. So I think those three pivotal points are really important. Definitely, again, hydration. Just like, I know, like, we are traveling on the road and you get stressed out sometimes and you like, God, I would love a drink. I would love a glass of wine. And then like 2, 3, 4 wines later, you're just like, all right, I'm ready to go. Right.
So that doesn't count as hydration, Tracy?
No. Sorry.
Damn it. I was doing so great right up until then.
I'm sure you were. I mean, like, and just having that way of just like making sure that your body stays hydrated. You're in different altitudes. You're in different levels of environments where it has so much effect on you. The pollution, the pollen, the people, germs, like the bare minimum basic is just to really stay hydrated as much as you can to keep your body completely hydrated, lubricated, relaxed. I mean, even for folks that travel a little bit and, sometimes traveling for them can be hard on the bum, right? On the butt, maybe you get like hernias, maybe you get like a polyp, things of that nature. If you stay hydrated, see, April's doing it.
She's drinking water as you say that. Yeah, she's right. Like Mom said.
Tracy said, I'll do it.
It really keeps you much more present and much more, I think, grounded in that level. And I travel with my water bottle. Like, I cannot go without it.
Oh, me too. So I don't go anywhere without it.
Yeah, to me the other day, which I didn't realize, it was like, and I'm 41. They were like, oh, drinking a lot of water, it helps just lubricate your joints and keep everything. I was like,
and your genitals.
Oh, and your genitals.
Yeah.
But it makes sex easier. If your joints are lubricated, you can kind of do some more movement.
Yes.
So I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So you're continuously, as a yoga teacher, you're continuously telling your students, hydrate before, during, after, continuously throughout your week, throughout your practice. So it's important to keep that practice there because, yes, we do need that water to keep our genitals well moisturized, because we all know that, saliva is not a hydrating item. And we also know that we need lubrication to keep that going. So that leads you into your sex bag, your travel bag, right? And I was so inspired this time to talk about it because I just came back from Spain and we were kind of in a rush to kind of like pack things. And I only wanted to do a carry-on. I am not the check-in kind of gal. I don't like that. I'm just
Me too.
not. I'm also like TSA pre-check, Stick Global. I'm not taking my shoes off. So like, I need to make sure that what I am packing in my bag has all of the essentials. And I feel like a sex bag or a travel naughty bag, however way you want to describe it, is an essential to being able to have these pleasures while you're on the road. What is in that bag, right? First thing first, lube, right? First thing first. That's one thing I love about Uber Lube. They have those cute little travel size.
Yeah, the good to goes. Yeah.
Yes. And they come in different colors. So like it fits your style. I'm like, yes. Like,
can match your sex toy.
They just came out with one that matches our book. I was like, did you all do that on purpose? Thank you.
Actually, they had it before we did.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. So like, first of all, lube, a foil packet, like those things that are like small that, fit under the 3.2 ounces that, US requires for you to travel with anything. That's like always my number one. My number two is a bullet, a small bullet. I love that we have, sorry, I'm like reaching over. I should have had this product ready, but okay. I love our Lawand bullets because of the fact that it has it's travel friendly, and it also has a textured ring that allows for you to have not just outdoor stimulation, but also indoor stimulation.
Oh, cool. I never knew that.
Nice.
And outdoor, indoor, everyone. She's not talking about outside, like in the sun. It's like your pussy.
You use that for anal stimulation if you wanted. With
you could. I would take this. I would definitely take the silicones off.
Okay.
Like a sleeve.
Because you could. It's like an extra like texture.
So
you could take it off. You can have a little bit of internal. Yes, internal stimulation is definitely okay. That. But like to have like a ring like this creates much more of a harmful reduction of, play, right? So like if someone just took out a regular bullet, you cannot obviously put this inside your butthole, right? This is going to get lost in the sauce. We need a flare base.
Lost in the sauce.
Check out YouTube, everyone. If you're just listening on audio, that's okay. But what Tracy's holding up, each of the products you can see, and they're beautiful. This one's like a rose gold, and it has this like textured plate almost, but it's silicone on the end of it. That looks like it's shaped similar to the external bits of the vulva with the bullet like in the middle.
The textures are awesome.
Jaws.
There's so many different textures on there too. Like that, if you're using this on a clitoris likes textures, not necessarily the smooth surface. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah. So, and also, this one is completely shower friendly. They're also bath time friendly too. So I can put this in cold water.
Okay, is it lightweight? Because it's like this is a thing for travel. Some of my toys they weigh way too much, and I'm like, I can't bring this thing with me. I'm like, this is like 12 pounds.
I know. No, this weighs like no more than an ounce. So this is our heaviest one. We have a smaller one too. That's like about like a smaller bullet size too. So we have those options.
Wait, I have a question. With because that's like metal, right? And so you're a carry-on person. How do you when you're traveling with you're actually carrying on, because when you're checking stuff in, they're not seeing
the nastiest, crustiest dildo and put it right on top.
So that's one of my things. Okay, this is a multi-part question. Okay, so when I do carry-on, and actually even when I check in a bag, I'll like deliberately put a sex toy on top so that if they try to search my shit, not that I have anything bad in there, but they're like, ooh, I don't really want to touch this one very much. And so, but what about, so when it's metal though, like they're going to search your bag almost every time you go through.
I have not always been very, very lucky because I learned about placement also in the bag. Okay. So if the TSA person is looking at it like this, they're looking down
like at
barrel.
The base.
Yeah. Oh, at the base. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're looking at it like a barrel. But because TSA now has like these new like super computers that can like move it around and they can see like the whole shebang now.
A 3D image almost of it?
Yeah, 3D image. Now they're being less like, intimidated to be like, what is in that bag? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that also things that sometimes like, it depends on like how it sits. In the bag that I think that TSA is like, I don't know what the hell that is.
And what about chargers too? That you don't want a bunch of chargers. I've been secondary searched because I had a ball of chargers in my kit, my sales kit. And they were like, wires. It looked, I mean, it did kind of look suspicious when I saw it on the screen. They're like, that looks suspicious. I was like, it really does.
You're right.
It's just a bowl of spaghetti. No, I think that one thing I like to do is I keep my item with the charger, keep it separate, Sometimes, I mean, I can't say that about like my sample luggage suitcase with all my product that I'm like, I don't give a hell. They're going to check it anyways. But I think with it comes to smaller pieces, like try and get one that does not have a cord. So one that has like a USB port, for an example, allows for you. I don't know why I'm doing all this reaching today.
That's okay. That's okay.
I still have to teach yoga later on tonight, so I guess I'm prepping myself.
Yes.
But like just having something that has a USB charging port that allows you to you don't have to go. You go cordless then. And
so it's built. The USB part that charges is built into the device. You just plug it into the wall device or your laptop.
Yep, the battery is here. Yeah, and then the motor is here, and then
you could just get battery operated. I mean, there's a lot of toys that are that. I don't know if you
there are. I mean, but then
bring backup batteries.
Bringing batteries, right? Bringing a lot of batteries, and you have to also consider that TSA do not want a lot of batteries on the top of the plane above head. So you have to consider that if you're going to bring in like a big dildo that's vibrating, and you need like C batteries or D batteries, you may want to check that one in so you don't have to worry about that hassle of.
And those are heavy.
C batteries. But they are asking now when you check your bag. I'm sorry, we're getting off trail. This is I've been wondering, and I've been lying. Oh my God, you're in TSA. But they're like, when I have my sales kit, and there's like, are there any rechargeable lithium-ion batteries in here? And I'm like, No.
She's like 8 of them.
No, there's like 40 toys in there that are all lithium.
Exactly.
And I'm like, is the plane going to explode? So I started like researching this and I'm like, no, there was one time a Samsung phone, I guess, that exploded.
That's what it was.
I'm not having any Samsung products and I'm not, this is not Samsung. I think they got it together. I think we all learned something. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys, please, someone help me make me not, do you all make me, help me not feel bad about myself for lying every time? Is that bad?
No.
I mean, if we're lying, then there's a lot of people that are lying. I mean, that's meaning saying like people that have like their kids' gadgets that also have lithium ion batteries, an iPad, like the entire, I mean, everyone is on some kind of mobile device when they're on the plane, right? So I think at this point, I mean, of course, like sometimes you do get that little bit of worry, especially if the item is staying on. We forget to put up the travel lock on there and it's still buzzing and rattling. Maybe it could cause some like weird frequency play. Who knows? Mm-hmm. At the same time, I mean, for me, I'm just like, nothing that I think would cause, you know, an explosion or anything. And again, just making sure that I travel lock my items, or if it's, you know, without batteries, then all right, at least I know I'm traveling in the state. Let me go to a Target and grab my batteries once I land.
Yeah. You know those times though, when your vibrator turns on in your suitcase? That's happened to us many times. I'm like,
too many times.
I think your vibrator's on. We're like walking through the airport.
When I went to
too many times.
The Fun Factory, because I had such a huge sales kit, stuff would be on all the time. And I got called off of the plane onto the tarmac once in Seattle because the woman called me. I was boarded and she's like, is there an April Lampert on the plane? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, am I in trouble, Mom? And then she's like, hi, we have to talk to you. Your bag is vibrating. And like said it super. And guess what? It was the most phallic looking one that was on the bottom that I had to go fish out in front of like all the dudes. And this was, I didn't think they'd ever take me under the tarmac, but it was like one of those you board by the
on the tarmac. So it was a small plane. Yeah. It was a smaller plane.
Well, that's a smaller plane. Yeah, but we were flying to, I think I was flying to Canada from Seattle.
Okay.
And so anyway, she called me off though, and then I had to go, and the dudes were fucking dying laughing.
Yeah.
And because I was doing a commentary, I was like, well, you know what? I'm like, I would tell you that I don't use all these, but I do.
Yeah.
And they're like,
but I cleaned them before.
But I cleaned them. You want to touch it?
Clean.
It was like a big, giant orange dildo looking vibrator.
Yeah. But that also brings you to the point where you just said to Canada, which is a very valid point. Like you're going overseas now and you're bringing these items. I like to suggest that when people are shopping in store or online, that they're looking for certifications that allow for them to bring this item overseas or across the land. Canada can be a little bit challenging from sometimes when they are just like, look at a wand, they're like, this is a weapon. I'm like, a weapon of mass pleasure? Like,
come on. You're like, I'm sorry.
Depends how you look at weapons.
And Thailand, it's totally illegal. Dubai, I think Dubai is getting a little bit better, but you cannot bring sex toys are illegal. Yes. I brought a bullet vibe to Thailand when I went there and I like did some research. I like stuffed it into like my cosmetic. I felt like I was like a drug carrier. I was like, I feel like I have drugs. It's just a bullet vibrator.
So is it when it's illegal? Is it all sex toys, or is it when they vibrate, or if it's phallic? Like, how do they know that my non-vibrating carrot looking thing is a sex toy? I might just use it to pretend like I'm eating carrots.
I've yet to like travel to Thailand because now that's another thing. Like I also keep in mind of like, I like to bring my sex toys with me. They are, again, my essential. So where am I going to go? And that also depends back onto like, what can I bring? Mm-hmm. Or when traveling overseas, is there a place that I can be able to obtain these items that can still work for me? Mm-hmm. A lube and a small vibrator, that's just my personal choice. But being in Spain, like I could have got like a ginormous butt plug. I could have got like a ginormous dildo, restraints, collars, like anything and everything that I wanted from a retailer shop. They were all at my fingertips, which was great. And also seeing brands that we also know in the industry also made me feel even more safer to buy these items overseas. So if you know that you cannot take these items anywhere, maybe there might be a place that you will be able to find something. I mean, they have this spot. It's a vending machine. It's called Pika Pika, like Pica and Pika. And they sell everything in there. Sandwiches, clothing, diapers, sex toys, prophylactics, condoms, lubrication, blah, blah,
Wow.
blah. And all at just like the tip of just like a couple of euros. And you're able to obtain that even so much as the level of convenience and discretion that you may need when you are also traveling. Maybe you don't want to go into a sex store. Maybe you're with a group of people that you're not comfortable with. We're just on a platonic level, and we don't want to be talking about sex stuff right now.
It's none of their business.
Pressure. Right.
None of your business. Okay.
Yes. Right.
Also, I was thinking though, Tracy, if you do ever want to go to Thailand, there's always Nature's Pocket.
Just don't go through one of those scanners that can see inside, like there's an X-ray.
Yeah, you go through, they don't. And you're just like, I'm Nature's Pocket. This is
Nature's
my
Pocket. She
special.
shoves it in her pussy.
Yeah, that's
so you know. Just so you know. It has to be a small toy though.
I mean,
you have a small pussy.
Yeah.
That's what yeah.
That's why we have snug plugs for B5.
See, that's what I'm saying. You could use a snug plug and you're like, sex toy, check. And Nature's Pocket, check. And we're good. Boom. And then if it's
I think if I was traveling somewhere where I was like, okay, I might get arrested if I bring a sex toy, I would just use, and I have never done this, but I've heard people that have my electric toothbrush, but I haven't figured out, like the one side's too smooth, so it's not going to do anything. The other side's too bristly. I think I'd have to like put, like maybe I'd get one of your little tops from one of the lay wands, like put it over the tip and try that. Maybe get creative
about that. There is a brand
that
also has come out with an electric toothbrush, and then like they have an accessory like piece to it. I've seen that before, and while it's just like I think it's very targeted for a certain person that they want that targeted stimulation, right? Yeah, nipples, clitoris, frenulum, testicles, scrotum, like all of those things. It still has to like really answer to that person for that body. So it may not work for me, but like just to see like, oh, conveniency, like one less motorized thing to bring on the plane. Like,
what about so like, you know, things like lay wand or magic wand or the Vim vibe, all of those, you know, they're these big wands that you don't have to just use in your genitals. You can use them as massagers. And I think back in the day, people were like, use them as massagers. Like, I also put on my genitals. Yeah. There are the ones like the Theragun and all kinds of things that are like not sex toys or air quotes.
Those are illegal in Thailand. I haven't looked into that, but I love my Theragun.
Fucking strong.
I tried the Theragun on my vulva once and it worked because I also like power, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. And plus it's like the because you can choose the different attachments. And mine, I use the globe looking sphere one.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like a soft kind of spongy. It's also like a spongy material.
Are you like thrusting right now? Is that what it's doing?
I don't know, but I liked it. But I was like, I can never do that again. I feel like I might have bruised my fucking vulva.
I mean, like those people, you know, people that use that are like athletes.
I mean,
generally,
you know what?
Even like on the baseball game, like in a Tigers game, they're just like, and I'm like,
Well, when we just did our retreat in Costa Rica, a woman who was part of the retreat brought her she had the mini Theragun, and she I guess she said she uses it like on the airplane and while she travels on her shoulders and her body that's aching. But then she brought it and she was like massaging people with it, not on their genitals again. Where I was like, oh, that's a great way to have 2 in 1. You have your thing for all your aches and pains in your body, and it will get you off. You might need to wear like a pair of jeans or 5 to not be overstimulated.
And that answers to a lot of accessibility when people really need that, especially if you're experiencing chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and you need that constant motivation, that massage item to really literally work from head to toe. And I think that is a really, really great thing that people can be able to bring. I think that Lawan has that same kind of, we have those ones that give you that same kind of feeling that allows you to work literally from head to toe and not have to figure out like, I got to bring this item, then I got to bring this item because I have chronic pain. And then I have to also consider like, I have to explain this to someone, you know, while I'm traveling too. Like, this is not a sex toy. This is something for my body. But even if it is, it's none of their fucking business.
It's not their business. Sometimes there's toys that are like, I think about this because of people that have vaginismus or they have different, they need dilators or things that help relax the eggs. I'm wondering what is considered in some of these countries, what is considered illegal, or because that's not a sex device. In my brain, when I use an egg, the
crystal egg, just like a little egg that you put
like the yoni eggs, a Kegel egg. Sure,
there's nothing sexual about that for me. I put it in. I do my daily business.
They would think it was just some gem or crystal, though. If they saw it.
Because there's also a lot of mining practices that come from Thailand. So I think that would probably be okay. And again, when you get into those spaces, just like do your research and figure it out to where like maybe vibrating toys may not be your jam. Maybe it's something you have to think about more, including like lubrication, maybe a softer item to allow for masturbation to happen. There's tons of like sleeves for penis owners. There's tons of grinding pads for folks with vulvas. So you have your way to definitely be able to navigate through that space without folks, pulling out your bag and saying like, this is illegal and you're going to get arrested. And
I don't think they'll arrest you. I think they'll just take it. I think.
Yeah, I think I'm sure
if it's drugs, that's different. This is sex toys. Unless you have like a bunch that you're trying to smuggle into the country, like a bunch of sex toys. I think that could warrant an arrest. I can't imagine you going to jail. Now, someone might write us and be like, no, April, look, back in 2005, I was in prison for bringing that could happen.
What was the movie with
Broke Down Palace?
Yeah, with Claire Danes.
Yeah.
It was drugs, but like, what if it was vibrators?
Yeah.
Like locked away for a decade because of one vibrator.
Yeah.
I have a fun question for you both. It's kind of like a little rapid fiery, but if you can elaborate it. So the sex on the plane thing is, really cool and hip to people. But also,
those bathrooms are fucking.
No, I don't think it is, but and they're tiny. I'm like, when I go in, I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
Don't touch anything.
But I'm not just talking about that. I saw another podcaster talk about how she was baiting on the plane. She had like the whole row to herself. She just put the blanket over. She had a little bullet vibe, and it's so loud on an airplane, so she was getting off.
Oh, for sure.
What do y'all think? Would you do it? Have you done it? Too inappropriate, badass? What you think? Baiting on a plane.
Context. Okay, so much context. I would say I would do it if I was booted up to first class. You know how you have those pods, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pod. Yeah.
You have those fun pods. You're more relaxed. Also, again, super hydrated. You can whip out a bullet that is obviously anything that's going to be quieter. I don't think anything's going to be louder than what you're really going to be on the plane, right?
Yeah.
And I would probably go for it then. I would not do a bathroom. I'm just slightly germophobic in that space where I'm just like, it's just not, I'm just
even aside from the germs, it's not like a pussy throbbing space.
I just don't, and the smell of it, but to each their own, right? Because maybe that person likes that kind of the smell of it, the fluid play, like all of those things. And to also be able to successfully have an orgasm or just a series of pleasure in that small little confined space.
Yeah, but also
like,
fuck off. If I have to go to the bathroom and you're baiting in the bathroom, I'm going to be pissed at you.
So
okay, bro?
There's the other thing, like consent is a thing too. Like so if you're baiting over there, like, in the row next to me or something, and I pick up on the fact that you're actually masturbating, which you're probably, it's probably easy to hide on an airplane, but that you're masturbating or having an orgasm, I didn't consent to being a part of your sexual experience. That's not going to feel good. And like April said too, if I'm waiting to get in the bathroom and you're taking over because you're
times where I'm like, I have to go, and I'll forgive folks, like the older folks that you can tell, like wearing a jumpsuit. That's usually me. That takes a minute to get everything on. I'm like,
why do you travel with a jumpsuit on?
Fashion first, Tracy.
You don't have to think about the top and the bottom. It's all one piece.
Yeah. Right.
And then I have to gather it while I'm on the seat to make sure nothing touches anything. And it's like, I ask myself that, Tracy, what you just asked, like, why do I travel in a jumpsuit every time? And I don't think about that until I'm using the loo. And then I'm like, why did I travel in a jumpsuit? But there's sometimes people are in there, and I've actually timed it. Someone was 25 minutes in the bathroom. I was like, what could you possibly be doing in the bathroom? And I get it, but this is not SportsCenter. It's not on your phone right now. You're just like, they're like making a turkey dinner while everyone else, there's a line from here to Timbuktu because you are being selfish. So so if you're going to bait, okay, so I want to answer this rapid fire question, and mine is I would never bait in the bathroom for those reasons, because I care too much about other people's bio necessities. And some people's, they have incontinence. They could be having a child or had a child or just laughing.
Sick. They get food poisoning. Yeah. Block them from finding the bathroom.
And you do not want any of those situations. So be mindful of that.
Yeah.
So even if you are into the smells and the things in the bathroom, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of there if you're not going to the bathroom. Okay. That's my opinion on that. And number two. Thank you. Number two.
Speaking of bathrooms.
I think baiting on a plane. I would say I would perhaps do it, I'd have to have a shit ton of alcohol beforehand to like loosen up my nerves. I'd have to have a full blanket that could go over my head so no one, because I have to make like facial expressions that are pretty sexy while I'm baiting. So I'll be like, and sometimes sounds as well, out like audible.
Yeah.
Like,
Does it hinder your orgasm if you don't make those facial
absolutely it does.
Yeah.
And I don't, the secret thing I could do, if it has to be very secretive, meaning I don't want anybody to actually know that I'm doing that if they're, and I've never done that. You baited next to me before while I was sleeping.
Yeah, but that's a hotel room.
Yeah, I don't mind. I was sleeping and I had my mask on and my headphones.
Yeah,
but
I
didn't get into it. I don't care. I was like, great, good for you. Yeah. And on a plane, I'd have to be totally covered. There are new devices on airplanes. So have you seen those? Like full,
like the giant,
maybe your arms go in it and you look like a fucking super weirdo. But I'm like, I need one of those.
Sling?
It's like, so it kind of like pops up. And then you could use it many different ways. Now I don't sell this item. I was just
not sponsored by this thing.
Probably on TikTok somewhere. And your arms could go in it like this, or you could put your head down, but it blocks off. It's like a tented thing, so it blocks off. You use your tray, and then it's like, but it's soft, so you can do lots of things. So I could put that over my body and my head, and then bait away, and then. Yes. But I need my own row, never next to a human.
That's too far.
But I also need my row. I would need my row also cleared behind me and in front of me as well.
Yeah.
So
same.
That's why, again, first class pods, there is not a doubt in my mind that the first class pods have not
been baited.
I'd have
sex
and
in one of those
baiting
pods.
and sexing.
I would totally have sex
and baiting.
They're a lot of times comfortable. They are comfortable. And I want to also comment on the fact that airplane seats are not that comfortable spread across if you're not in like the business or first class. And so it can be uncomfortable, but dude, I don't know. I think on long flights, I get it, but there are some sexy ass movies on these days on the flights too, where I have been like pussy pulsating.
I don't really get, so you know what airplanes do to me? It's not like I'm watching a sex scene and getting turned on. For me, it's like I cry at everything on an airplane. It's not even a fucking rom-com or a sad scene. It's just like, oh, the little kid found a flower. I'm like, oh, I don't really know. Right. It's more of a sad place for me, really.
I watch all the rated R scenes and I have no shame in my game. I'm like, sorry, kid, turn around.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It has the things that your neighbors shouldn't be able to see as much. But if it's on the plane, fuck the kid next to you. Sorry, kids. But you can watch whatever you want. It's on the plane.
I usually just tell the flight attendant, I'm like, yo, there's a kid next to me. Fuck the kid next to me, okay? I need a new seat. And then they move you.
That is true.
They will. They'll move you.
They will.
What? Really? Seriously? You
yes. Yeah, they will.
You just have to be like, I don't like children. And this is not true, everyone. For me, I like children. I love children. Well, you have to learn today because you get a screaming little shit ass and you're on a plane for 12 hours.
The shit ass is what my issue is when they're behind me and they just kick me for 12 hours.
Oh, well, that you can't.
We love kids, everyone. Can you tell that we never birthed
I adore children. I adore them so much, but not when they're kicking my seat. And I'm very nice to them.
So we need to wrap soon, but I wanted to just really quickly ask
confessions. I feel like this was a confessional episode.
Naughty. Airplane
Tracy, of course, you'd bring that out of us or of me because I'm like, I
wish we had cooler stories. We're like, no, fuck that. I was in the overhead compartment banging and baiting.
I think we should call this episode something about the confessional because it's pretty good.
Sex on the road and overseas confessional.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we wrap up though, I want to just real quick find out what you have to say about the long distance relationship, because we kind of commented a little bit on that before. But if I'm traveling overseas or here in the US of A,
I'm going to Wisconsin, and you're going to be here,
and my partner's not with me, and we want to stay connected erotically while I'm gone. What are your recommendations? And I guess we've talked on the show many times about Bluetooth toys that use Bluetooth technology. I don't know if B-Vibe, Leiwan, all those brands, if they have any of that. And I firmly believe that you can just use a toy and your partner can use a separate toy and y'all could just FaceTime. So but what do you think?
You pretty much answered that question for me personally.
You have FaceTime, it's fine.
Yeah, we have so much digital technology at our fingertips: Zoom, FaceTime, just phone sex. Yes, at Play Toys. That would be our new our cone that has just been released. The Cowgirl. Yeah. It's small, it's very compact, so it's definitely easy to be able to take on the road with you. And you can definitely have that kind of feel me technology, if you will. But also, I just like sometimes I think that just even like a small phone sex conversation, just naughty conversation, just to get you in the mood, and then send those freaky pictures, those nude pictures that really like just boost up that stamina that makes you feel so aroused by your person. I think that that's still like, again, it's still in that level of communication, because even if you can't talk, you still have this picture that you can fantasize and create whatever story you would like to in your fantasy and be able to have that wonderful orgasmic experience. I think that to me is also more rooted. I think it's sometimes a little bit more organic because that person is doing their best to be in a position for you, whether that means literally just holding their penis, or if they're even just spreading open the vaginal lips, like that's still effort. And that effort should never go unnoticed, unvalid, or anything like that. It should definitely be respected and like loved for. Sometimes I also like big ups to folks that are poly, or big ups to people that have open relationships. Are you in a space? Are you in a different part of the city where you can meet up with one of your other play persons and be able to have that playtime and include the other person in, right? What does that look like? Phone sex, talking to them, leaving the phone literally on on speaker, and just
love that. I love that.
Yes, like telecock, telehold.
Telecock.
Telecock, so it allows
that.
for you to be able to really be mindful of the space. So that person is still so included in that space, and you're not necessarily leaving them to just wander and think. So there's so many options, but I think also because of the fact that we are millennial kids, we know about the telephone. We still like rely on the telephone. I think that is something that we should not just easily give up, because we have such a digital platform now where we see each other. Sometimes just that auditory sound does so much, and listening does so much to the body, that the body really just sucks it all in and says like, yes, I like to hear this, and I want to hear this over and over again. And honey, I can't wait till I see you when I get home.
I don't know if it's just me as a person, or if there's other vulva owners out there, or if there's penis owners, or the in-between folks, the non-binary folks out there. But for me, if I watched like a super hot scene, porn or some kind of a movie without the sound, it doesn't turn me on as much as when I have the sound, the audible nature of. Sometimes if I am watching porn by myself, for instance, I will not even look at it. I'll just hold it next to my head, because I know what sounds I like, though. And I usually like to hear the dude personally more. Like I like to hear, because a lot of times porn is centered around this, like, patriarchal visual of like the chick. So like, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. I want to
barely hear him.
Yeah. And so I center myself around porn that is dude focused, and the audible nature, and like sometimes the expressions too that I can see, but it's never for me. And I know that I think biologically men are different. I think they are more visual. Most like cis men they're driven by the sight. And I don't know. So if there's someone out there that wants to comment and be like, I am a dude and I love audible stuff too without singing, that'd be great, because I don't want to feel like I'm alone.
Right.
Am I alone out here? Am I weird?
Yeah. I think also like when we look back to like sound frequency waves, when we think about like Darwinism, how mammals literally connect with each other by sound first, then the sight. I think that's how it goes. They are literally connecting to that because that's what they want to hear. So for us, it's like music. Do we like to hear something with a heavier bass? Maybe we're attached to something that has a more rumble vibration, as compared to someone that likes something like a guitar sound. That person may like a lot of buzz. So I think that when we get back into that gear of just really listening, and again, circling back to communication, listening to your partner while you're away, while you're either with them or not with them, just the communication alone, and making sure that person hears you, like they hear you, and it resonates for them, and they need to be able to then be able to be like, okay, I can give you this. I can definitely give you this. I think that's also why being a yoga teacher, like, I guess why I'm so supposedly made about yoga is because I do give a very powerful sound of push when you need to push. And then also there's a powerful sound when you just need to relax and really work on cadence. So that has a huge volume of that. Especially when someone is away, I like to hear when my partner, tells me I just put something on the calendar, and I'm like, yeah, I'm turned on. Like, okay, all I'm gonna do is like bait afterwards, thinking about him putting stuff on the calendar,
putting that Excel spreadsheet together. You're like, I'm going to spread something. It's not going to be a spreadsheet, but I'm going to spread
a lot of things.
Well, I will say too, in partnership, and then we're wrapping up, and I could talk to you all.
I know
all
we
day.
could do this all.
I know we could
for the next 3 hours.
I know, and we're like, other things to do now. But like partners that listen to these nuances of their partners really does amplify your sex life. So if you have an audible driven partner that loves either voicing how you feel or voicing what's happening, that's really sexy. And that could be a turn on. Or if you have someone that's more visual, you can kind of figure that out as well. Or if you have someone, and my partner's tapped into that because he knows how much I love that. And so he will talk to me a lot during our sexual experiences, which really turns me on. And I can't do it. Like, I can't talk. I'll sometimes just say like little like, but I have,
yeah, daddy, that's dirty talk.
Yeah. But he likes the moaning and the groaning and stuff. So I'll tap into that. So if you like learn, so this is all like, I think these are all facets of building more relational tools that you can use in your own passionate moments, in your non-passionate moments with thyself, with thy others. I don't think that's how it goes. Shakespeare would be mad at
thy others.
And so I just want to say like, thank you, because I think you did a great job of breaking that down. And throw some sex toys in there. Why the fuck not? Maybe that buzzing is going to turn your partner on. They don't even know it yet. They're like,
I
like that.
And so will you tell our listeners how they can maybe find some more Tracy, or maybe if they don't get more Tracy?
What if they're in Detroit and want to see you in action with the yoga? You don't have to.
They can do that. But also the brands you're talking about, the websites, all the links, and we'll have everything in the show notes as well, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll have all the links. Again, I am the product education director for B Vibe, which is a backdoor play, booty stuff, educational focus, premium line of sex toys. So really fun stuff when it comes to backdoor play. The wand, as you saw some of the pieces that I had before, really nice, powerful, portable, adaptable items. And then the Cowgirl sex machines. When you're thinking about power, April, I got you. There is some really great things that you can definitely adopt into power play. Also, all of these items that you will find from any of our sites are very travel friendly. You can find us at The Wand Massager on Instagram. You can find us at bvibe.social on Instagram. You can find me at Tracy Flower Child Cherie on Instagram. I do not go hard because this is where I like my safe space to be. But I would love anybody that would like to come to Detroit, DM me, hit me up. Definitely can get you into a really wonderful hot yoga session and really start to like fine tune sound and voice and a great meditative practice as well. So I think that's all the outlets that we have.
Everyone can check obviously more out about Tracy. Just click the links because sometimes it's hard to remember all the links, but on our website, shamelesssex.com. And I'm just planting the seed for COTR. Think about that Theragun Action travel Theragun sex toy, that box that you could take anywhere. I could even get into Dubai with it. I don't have to put it in nature's pocket. Just planting the seed. It's for my shoulder. It's for my shoulder, I swear. So Theragun people, they're listening like, damn it. We're
not sponsored by Theragun.
Not sponsored by Theragun. So I can't wait to see you. We'll see you in July, Tracy, and we'll see all of our beautiful listeners next Tuesday. Before you go, though, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you listen to. Google Play's dead now, apparently. No more Google Play. whatever. We don't play like that with Google. And we do play like that with Spotify, and we need you because we had a fake account for a while, so it's harder to find us. So if you are listening to us on Spotify platform, subscribe, follow us again. I can't remember. No, I think it's follow. Everyone has a different thing.
It's all different.
And then iOS, if you are an iPhone user, they just updated it. And guess what, y'all? That means that apparently there's technological difficulties sometimes. And this episode's coming out in 2024 in April. So if it's that around that time and you did update your iPhone, you're gonna have to resubscribe to our podcast because you no longer will receive it unless you resubscribe. So we're losing followers. People still love us.
I thought it's just not downloading back catalog.
No, it's not re-downloading, even if you're subscribing. So they're hopefully going to fix it. But it is something that you might not automatically get episodes downloaded.
Don't miss out on Shameless Sex.
Don't miss out. Now, if you are an Android user, then you can go fuck all, but your plane might explode. Just kidding. That is a total joke.
Scared people.
I know.
I am not sponsored by iPhone. Or Apple.
We do love you all, and I am full of a lot of sarcasm. So please understand my sarcasm. Not shit, just sarcasm. All right, y'all. We love you. And I say that with my full heart. And I cannot believe that you all give us the gift of educating you and having folks like Tracy on our show. Please, please understand how much we love you. And remember, we're live, we're on the road. Check out shamelesssex.com for so much more from Shameless Sex. You can also buy our book, Shameless Sex. Okay, that's it. I got nothing else for you, but I love you. Amy, I love you too.
Thank you.
Love you, Tracy.
Thank you.
I love you more. Love both of you.
It's a competition.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.